Most impressive thing you saw from the Browns in the first preseason game? What kind of jumped out to you?
There were a couple of individual guys who I thought looked really good, and it was mainly on the defensive side of the ball. I thought Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah made plays, and he made the types of plays that we haven't seen Browns defensive people make on a regular basis for a real long time. And I thought, okay, first preseason game, don't get too carried away about that. You never know. However, that's kind of what he was billed as when he was drafted, even before the Browns took him, when he was coming out of Notre Dame. So that was really nice to see, because that's what we heard. We heard that he was that kind of a guy. He looked small because he was wearing number 28. I'm still trying to get used to all that. But he was one thing that I thought was really good. I also liked, on the other side, early on, Donovan Peoples-Jones looked really strong. And I can't wait to see him this year. And I wonder, does he surpass Hollywood Higgins clearly as the number 3 receiver in this offense? And if something were to happen to Jarvis and Odell, what could Donovan Peoples-Jones possibly do? Could he make that move, Dave, into more of an upper echelon wide receiver? I don't know. I think we're kind of jumping the gun here, to be honest. He had opportunities last year, and it wasn't his fault. He didn't get more of them. I wish he would have had even more opportunity to show what he can do. But the offense was really cooking. They were running the ball beautifully. Baker was throwing it to everybody, so it worked. But those two guys in particular, I thought really showed up really, really well.
Yeah, the thing that impressed me just was they didn't play most of their starters. If you look on offense, none of the offensive linemen, quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, none of them played. And there weren't that many penalties. And when you looked on defense, all the big names didn't play, and they tackled well. The thing that really that I thought was kind of impressive, they didn't miss a lot of tackles, which I'm not used to that. That was a little bit of a surprise. And these are the 2s and 3s that are competing for jobs, not missing tackles. So I guess by deduction, they're pretty well coached is what kind of jumped out at me.
Yeah, and by watching exactly what you were talking about, Dave, I started thinking right away, man, these guys look like they're pretty good. They're not messing anything up. It's working just the way they drew it up. I mean, Case Keenum looked terrific running an offense with nothing but backups around him. And it just made me think, man, I can't wait to see what the starters look like. Because if these guys are running things so efficiently and doing it without, as you said, without making a bunch of mistakes, and just looking really good, that is a great sign about A, the depth, and B, you're right, the coaching. So what if that coaching translates to the first team and they build on what they left off at the end of last year? So I'm really anxious to see, and I don't think we will until the season opener, what it really looks like with the first teamers out there on both offense and defense.
Yeah, I agree. The defense, I'm very anxious to see, how fast they can play with what they've added.